Bande and friends. I'll start this talk with a warning. What you're going to hear is a little bit of the sound of one wing's flapping, the man's wing. My story covered the time when the two wings were anxiously kept apart. Croydon 86, Palmaluka 88, view from the kitchen. Palmaluka asked me to give this talk, not only because I was ordained in 88, but also because he would like to hear something from somebody with different conditioning and perspective. But like the colors of the rainbow, we all are different. But maybe I'm differently different by bordering to the infrared zone. You don't see me much on the stage like this. As a mitra, we are told not to shop around. Of course, I agreed. But with me, I was already at the end of my shopping trip. To start with, I was born in a marketplace, born within the Chinese community in Indonesia. My early childhood was permeated with a mix of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. We were surrounded by the Muslims, but my school was the Roman Catholic. I lived in Holland from 1986, 40 years ago. I arrived in Holland in 1966. I didn't participate in the student revolution. Instead, I sampled various Buddhist groups and a selection of psychotherapy workshops. As a matter of fact, my door to the movement was psychotherapy. In the time that therapy had a bad name. Vajrayogini, as a group psychotherapist, was the first order member I met. What was my door to the order? It was the kitchen. And after 22 years, as a mitra, I'm still there. It is a long doorway. You know where it started, but you don't know where it will end. By the way, the kitchen is the place where Huineng worked out his famous stanza. There is no Bodhi tree, nor stand of mirror bright. Since all is void, where can dust alight? Unfortunately, it alights in my kitchen. The dust seemed not to be there, only when I ignored it. I'm still learning. However, the kitchen gave me the glimpse of the disharmony in the order. In 1986, I moved to England to know more about FWBO because there was no center in Holland as yet. I was attracted to Croydon Buddhist Center with its Hockney's restaurant and the art center. The center, because of the Dutch connection, Dutch order members and some other order members from Croydon occasionally visited Holland to lead retreats. The restaurant, because I was a trained chef, and the art center, because the combination of art and spiritual life excited me. The Buddhist center, the restaurant, the art center was very impressive. I visited also the restaurant kitchen, the engine of the whole factory, which was subterranean, steaming and overheated. Not having city garbage spirit, I preferred to live at the Rivendell. The God's realm Padmaraja was trying to build. He seemed not to mind with my preference. But for good measure, I used a little power mode by saying that if I couldn't stay there, I would explore other centers. I wasn't even a mitra, so a soft power mode was excusable, I assume. From the Rivendell kitchen, I saw, apart from the inspiring retreats, beautiful surrounding, also hardworking Bodhimitra and Satyaraja. The renovation and the decorating the work of the building was not finished, and the garden was wild. I saw exhausted, Hogni is working, passing through, to have a break, a retreat, or to do other work. I saw some intrigues and lobbying. Also, I met some of the members from other centers. Jasudeva, just to mention one, impressed me with his kindness, with his drawings, and he encouraged me to draw too. I just wonder whether I was the only person who had an easy life in that God's realm. Everybody else seemed to be too busy or pressured. I enjoy my cooking job, and Padmaraja endorsed my drawing activities too. But after a year, I considered to move on. Some questioned me because they believe that Croydon and Rivendell was the best place to practice, and believed that Padmaraja was one of the most advanced spiritual person we had. I was not completely convinced, but I acknowledge that Padmaraja was a very good businessman. A couple of days ago, a couple of days later, when I was visiting Hogni, Padmaraja invited me to his table and to have a drink. He mentioned that it was good that I saw him as a businessman, and said that before he was Buddhist, he didn't know anything about running a business. He said he learned it from Bhante. I don't know what and how he learned. I didn't ask. Maybe he learned the way I learned Huineng's no-dust teaching. As it happened, the old style Croydon, the old style ordination request retreat was on the horizon. I went to Padmaloka without recommendation of the chapter. Maybe it was to my benefit, because many other members from other centers were suspicious of the Croydon activities. I passed the scrutiny and got ordained about 6 months later. I enjoyed my ordination retreat at Kukeloka thoroughly, but it didn't make an easy entrance to the order. Although I knew enough and admired Bhante's teaching, I didn't know him, my preceptor. He was too awe-inspiring for me to talk to with ease. The ordination team was an ad hoc team. So, except for Surata, whom I met before at Rivendell, I had never seen the team members before. And after the ordination, most of them disappeared to far places. Surata questioned me on this matter. He asked me whether I had already real friends in Sangha. I had to admit that I had only one. Just from the other Sangha, thinking of Dogen, who instructed me regularly in the kitchen. Surata didn't approve this, but he gave me the benefit of the doubt. I hope he doesn't regret his decision. The prevailing guideline was that one didn't have to return from the ordination to the center one came from. This made my next move easier. I didn't have to extricate myself from the aftermath of the Croydon Revolution, and Padmaloka kitchen was ready for me. Padmaloka was in the midst of another revolution. A new ordination process was introduced. New team members arrived. The spirit was high. A steady stream of men passed through the gate. At the beginning, there was only one retreat center community. Every member, including Subhuti and Sona, attended morning meetings, participated in discussing practical details of the day activities. shared the meal serving and cleaning duty. Everybody, including the new cook, could say his opinion about anybody's readiness for ordination in the other meetings. Pseudo-egalitarianism at work, I guess. But it helped to boost the solidarity among us. Soon, we were ready for a more fruitful approach, that people could spend more time in the area they were best suited. The order was regenerating, and Palmaluka occupied an important role in it, at least for the men's wing. I could hardly expect to be in a better place.